Hello friends and fellow Sim historians, welcome back to my Victorian Sims 2 challenge. As you can see today we are spending a lot of time with the King family, but also the auxiliary families associated with the Kings, which includes the Lawsons and the Holloways. So everything is a little bit too calm for my liking at the King household, especially since both of our daughters have moved away and Cornelius hasn't really gotten married yet. However, as you can see, while he is helping out at the King Street Grocers today, he meets a young lady named Louisa Claire Sully, and Louisa Sully is part of a family that's fairly new to the neighborhood, but also pretty lower class. So they run a farm. Primarily they have lavender fields, cows, and a couple sheep, only like 3 sheep though. And eventually they will become our dairy farmers of the neighborhood, but they are still pretty young in that endeavor. So it's kind of interesting because Cornelius is absolutely kind of smitten with her from the first moment he sees her at the store. And so suddenly we're kind of trying to navigate this new courtship of a lower class family and a lower middle family. And technically that wouldn't really be a problem. It's just that the King daughters married very, very well. And so we have ties with the Holloways and the Lawsons. So this wouldn't necessarily be an even match. However, Catherine and Howard are very happy. They spend a lot of time just kind of chatting and talking with each other, and they kind of decide that honestly they're not too concerned about the livelihood of their family. You know, once they age up into elders and pass away, they're pretty confident that the girls will be able to help maintain the storefront and everything happening there, and also like support their brother financially if he happens to need it. So they are are really quite okay with Cornelius marrying technically below the station. It's not really marrying down enough that it would be considered a social scandal. And so we actually send Cornelius on a little court date with Louisa here, and you can see Catherine chaperoning at the table next to them. I think technically it would make more sense if she were sitting at the table with them. However, Catherine, this is their third child. It's their heir. She's kind of like, look, this is fine. I'm doing enough. This is honestly more than we did with Georgina and Philippa, but they have some new social expectations with their daughters marrying so well. Now they do kind of have to follow this sort of formal courtship process. We spent some time at Philippa's new tea room. It's called Emma's Tea Room. As mentioned in our vignette, it's named after our dear late Emma Price, and she was really good friends with Philippa and Georgina, so it's nice to see them creating this in her honor. And you could see Louise's father in the corner there shopping in his farm clothes. So he kind of decides to give them some space during their little date because honestly, like, Catherine's got it. He's also not concerned. This is a great marriage for Louisa if it actually is pulled off. To be honest, this is probably the highest sort of wedding they would be able to pull off. They have like 6 or 7 kids. They've got a lot of kids. So they don't have very established dowries and inheritances, but these two are actually getting along really well. She has a lot of confidence. She's really nice. I think she'll be an excellent addition to the household. And since she actually helps her parents run their home storefront, I think she'll actually be a lot of help at theirs. Ooh, look, they formally have crushes on each other. So Cordelia spends quite a lot of time on the phone with Louisa, and gosh, I really, really wish that we could somehow create a mod that is like the Sims are on the phone, but they're actually just like actively writing letters. I don't know how I would create that. I have no idea. That wouldn't even make sense. But if anyone out there actually has like proper modding skills and can functionally create that, like, I would owe you my soul. Don't take that seriously. So things are honestly so quiet here. It's been a while since we've had the girls visit, as we also mentioned in the vignette. The Holloways have all been struck by the flu. I have a lot of anxiety about the flu in this game now since we've been using the realistic illnesses mod, but thankfully everyone seems to have recovered okay. We might have like 1 or 2 Sims in the family struggling along with the flu, but everyone else is mostly recovered because there's not really a whole lot of housework to be done, so everyone can kind of be well rested, well fed, and just like sit around because that mod requires you to do a lot of sitting while you're sick. But we do invite Louisa over to the household. Her parents are too busy to really send anyone because of all the farm work to do to help chaperone. But like, they're not worried because Catherine's continued to have this under control. Look at her reading in the corner while her son is having his little conversation with Louisa. So they actually made the betrothal final today, which is a really big deal. Her parents have sent with Louisa a little bit of a letter about the dowry that they can afford, and with her, the Kings are going to send back a formal acknowledgement that the betrothal is on. So we will have a wedding quite shortly, which is so exciting. Cornelius is still a little bit young, but you know, we need to liven up this household. So we actually invite a lot of people over. We have Georgina, who is now recovered from the flu, and Philippa, and a couple of our neighbors. So it is both Howard and Catherine's elder birthdays. I can't believe it. These are our first elders in the entire neighborhood. It's happening so fast. I mean, it's not. We're in rotation 8. This is not wild at all, but I guess it's just kind of crazy for me to think about. And we have like generation 3 like really well and forming. So things are moving along and it's very exciting. And it's also really nice to see Philippa back in the household. chatting with Cornelius, because Philippa and Cornelius are a little closer in age than Cornelius and Georgina, and so they're actually good friends. So here is Howard as an elder. He is so cute. We're gonna actually wait and change his hair to gray in a couple days or a week or so, just so we can kind of have this proper transition. However, Catherine ages up as well. We do give her some gray hair and a little bit more of a dignified look. We haven't updated her look since we really elevated into the lower middle class with all of these new family relationships. So the girls, Philippa and Georgina, actually buy her this pretty new black gown to wear, which is why it's a little bit above her station. But hopping over to the Holloways real quick, Georgina is actually pregnant with her second child, and look at her firstborn, Charlotte. She has aged up into a child, and she is an absolute doll child. She's so cute. I can't wait to play with her. And we also have our second-born daughter here. She looks just like her sister. This is Augusta, and I did want to show you the outside of the house. We've added a couple windows and we changed our siding and everything, so it looks a little bit nicer to match their elevating status in the town. And Victoria Holloway actually gets married to a Harvey boy. So this is Clement Franklin Harvey, the heir to the Harvey household. They are our basket weaving family, so they work with a lot of like thatchery in the household, and they are also lower middle class. Here's his little brother, Albert, who gives off a lot of Tim Burton vibes, and like honestly I'm kind of here for it. I don't know about you guys. Back at the main household, we have our wedding. I can't believe it. I mean, Cornelius is still really young, but I want him to catch up with his sisters, and I want things to start progressing, you know. Georgina and Philippa actually put together the wedding for them. So they buy Louisa a nice dress. They deck out the entire St. Philip's parish with flowers and candles and plants and curtains and all kinds of ridiculous fancy things that they would never be able to afford on their own. So it's kind of wild, but St. Philip's Parish looks absolutely transformed for the wedding, and Louisa is already fitting in with the family so nicely. She's playing with her niece Charlotte out in the road before the ceremony, and everyone's so happy. We have the Sully family and the Holloways and the Lawsons and the Kings all joined together, so it's mostly just immediate family members. And we have a very nice, intimate, formal ceremony. And look at that icon above Louisa's head. She knows she is marrying wealthy and has done well for herself, and she's also marrying someone that she likes and who likes her back. So as far as our arranged marriages go, I think we've actually been having some pretty good ones, and so everyone is absolutely ecstatic for them, especially the girls who really helped put on this wedding for their little brother. The sibling relationships in the King household just truly make me so happy. That is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Next episode, we have a very dramatic change into the Jung household, where we left off with Emma's death and her former husband going through a lot of emotional trauma and fighting everyone in the neighborhood instead of actually processing it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.